I've seen a lot of commentary surrounding Pilates and proximity to whiteness, as well as disrupting the Pilates space in order to create more diversity and inclusivity. Like, you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega. Okay?
And then a black woman brought it over here to the United States and perfected it. Pilates is ours. And I wanted to offer Pilates free for black women in our community. So I sought you out. And your price quote was $3,500 for one class, free for the community. Only 20 people. And you were trying to charge us $3,500 for a class. I don't know who you thought you were.
I do not wear designer.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Selena and today we are talking about a hot topic on diversity from yours truly, Raven from Love is Blind Season 3. If you watch Love is Blind, the US version, she was on Season 3 and we kind of know her from that show, at least I do, from being a Pilates instructor, and then also she has her own app, her own platform on TikTok, and I guess she does a lot of Pilates classes in Philadelphia. Her recent video on diversity went viral because as a person of color herself, Pilatesbodyraven, what's her name again? Oh, Pilatesbodyraven on TikTok. It's almost like one of those things where, who are you talking to? Because her caption says, hot take on why Pilates is expensive and not diverse. By the way, this video is now deleted. Buckle up, because let's just watch her video in full. We're gonna dissect it. I'm gonna share her response/apology video, and we're going to dive into what other people are saying on TikTok.
This is going to be an extremely hot take for my Pilates girls. I've seen a lot of commentary surrounding Pilates and proximity to whiteness, as well as disrupting the Pilates space in order to create more diversity and inclusivity. As someone whose entire purpose of my business, my brand goals is about providing accessible and affordable Pilates to a diverse demographic of women. That is what I started all of this on, so let's talk about it. What are some words that you think about when you think of like a really nice designer brand? I think of legacy, think about craftsmanship. I know a lot of the products are probably like handmade. People check them over and over again to make sure the quality is there, okay? The design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar, we pay our top coins for these designer items, right? Like, you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates. And I know a lot of us who've just gotten into this, or maybe we're new instructors, we haven't been trained. Pilates is a legacy, okay? People have worked generations to preserve this method of exercise. Even just training an instructor classically through a good program takes 500 hours minimum, okay? Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap. That's why things like Legree and Solid Core are more successful, right? They took away a little bit of the craftsmanship of the reformer and turned it into a megaformer. Now hire a little bit less experience in training out of instructors. That's okay, because now more people can do it, all right? And just to be clear, I am all for the accessibility of Pilates, but I do want some of the Pilates newbies to think a little bit more critically before we come on here talking about, okay.
I think it's wild that Raven is comparing Pilates to a designer place. I had to look up Bottega because I thought she meant bodega, like where you would get some food at. Let's look at Bottega together. So just looking at some of these, there's like shoes for up to $1,000 or more, different types of bags, wallets, but a lot of these seem like $900 is the minimum. So I also don't like the tone that she's talking in her videos, and we're going to dive into some of her older videos, but it just seems a little standoffish. And I don't know if you've watched Love is Blind. I'm not going to say any spoilers, even though it's season 3, but you can tell in Love is Blind season 3 that she was kind of disrespectful to the person she connected with. So the person she connected with was SK, and I think he's from Nigeria. Let me see. Yep, so SK is from Nigeria, and so they connected, were a couple, and when Raven met SK's family, they were eating. In their culture, they eat with their hands, and she's like, "Can I have a fork?"
So do you just swallow it? You don't chew your food?
You can chew it. You can.
She's not impressed.
Can I use a fork or not?
You can use it, fuck.
Okay.
Oh my god. Girl, eat the food. Oh my god.
So we know that TV, especially reality television, is edited, but knowing that and knowing what she's saying off of these TikToks, I'm like, girl, like I was following you until this all happened, but it definitely gives performative when it comes to being inclusive, because this video right here is showing your true colors. She basically compared Pilates, an exercise, right, that was made in prison, developed in prison, and she compared that to being designer. So the reason why Pilates classes are expensive, according to Raven, is because they're high end. So you have to be elite to pay for these classes, according to Raven. Which is so ironic because she has free classes on her YouTube channel. Sorry. Like, what the frick? She's basically saying it's not accessible or diverse because it's a luxury, it's designer, it's top dollar.
The design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar.
But you have classes for free, and you know what? They should be inclusive and they should be diverse, because accessibility when it comes to improved health outcomes is so important. But the fact that she has built her platform off of, I'm a person of color, I want to create spaces and accessibility for Pilates for people of color and women, and then she does this, that makes no sense to me. Real quick, let's just go through some of her older videos where she says that. If you asked me about being a black girl in Pilates, I'd say it's pretty cool. But if you asked me on a deeper level, I'd say nothing in the world makes me happier than seeing a room full of brown and black girls doing Pilates. 10 years ago, I was the only black girl in class, and now I teach to hundreds of girls who look just like me. It's literally my mission to make Pilates as inclusive, diverse, accessible, and as bliggity black as possible. This was uploaded in August of 2024. Who knew a year later this whole thing would happen? Here's some comments. From this to that? What happened to this? Remember your mission. Damn girl, what made you switch up? I followed you after Love is Blind because of this mission. Someone is being supportive. They say, I stand with you, Raven. All people heard was a brand name and not the actual part where you stated what your mission was and what you actually do as your career. There's a difference between talking about what the current narrative is and what you actually believe in, and to me, you made that very clear. I don't think you were spreading negativity, you were just saying what the conversation currently is. I pay $199 monthly for a gym membership, but yet Pilates classes in the gym are still extra money. What does that tell you? Definitely feels like some sort of exclusive exercise that only a certain class can attend because it's made to be so expensive. Then someone else says, processing this. And let me play a couple of other videos that are ironic in my opinion, knowing what we know now with her recent video.
Black girls need a tan too. After my first winter in the Northeast, I look like I haven't seen the sun in years.
I went to Spain last month and I forgot to show you guys my last purchase. I do not wear designer. Just know I wore the same black strappy heels for like 4 years and they were from Aldo, okay? Shout out to Aldo. Maybe even 5. I had them before COVID, so 5. I'll buy anything else the rest of the year, okay? Don't let me buy shit.
I did not get this full video, but she is trying on a piece of clothing and her caption says, and it's black owned. She tags the creator and she says, what brand should I try next? So I think it's very ironic that she's building her platform on diversity, accessibility, Pilates, health, and lifestyle when now it seems like she's backtracking Where's the diversity when it comes to other things that you're talking about, not just Pilates or something that you're trying on? So in addition to her being hypocritical, right? When she says in her video that an instructor can have 500 hours of training. And I was thinking about that. When I was interested in a yoga program, you know, when you go to a yoga class and you're like, ooh, I like this, I want to become an instructor. And then you kind of just look at the requirements to become an instructor with their facility. It's pretty similar in hours. And then also, for me, I had to do an internship and I had to have over 1,200 hours of supervised practice. So it's like, beyond me and my experience, a lot of people are saying, why is she acting like 500 hours is such a long time? It really isn't. And also when you compare that to other types of education that you can get, whether you're in a trade school, whether you're in a 2-year program, whether you're volunteering with the Peace Corps, right? That's a lot more time than 500 hours training for Pilates. Also, 500 hours is equivalent to 20 days. If you work full-time, working 8-hour shifts, that's a little over 3 months. I'm not discounting the training that is required for Pilates, but when you think about that, you know, prison sentences are longer than that. The amount of time you're with a company can be longer than that. Getting an associate's degree is longer, etc. I really think that's interesting that she was justifying 500 hours because the instructor put in at least 500 hours for this. We have to pay top dollar to exercise.
The way that you guys have lost your mind. Yesterday, Pilatesbodyraven has got on this app and she is racially ambiguous, but she has been confirmed to be mixed with Black to some extent. Equated diversity and inclusivity and accessibility to cheapness in the context of Pilates being a luxury form of workout. First of all, the mental gymnastics attached to that is crazy. Pilates literally started in prison. Yeah, because the guy who created it thought that having a healthy body and like a workout should be accessible to everybody, regardless of status, regardless of if you're in prison, color, your body type. Like, oh my God, like what do you, and this is a Pilates instructor, by the way. She got on this app and said that Pilates should be exclusive. Okay, so we're supporting the gentrification of it. Love it. She got on this app and said that if you go into, this is her direct comparison. If you go into Bottega, you're not going to say, where's the diversity? Why is everything so expensive? You're going to expect that because it's luxury. And so you shouldn't be looking for cheap and you shouldn't be looking for diversity. So now we're making cheap and diverse synonymous. I want you to remember that she is Black. I'm going to speak directly to you, Raven, for a second. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you are Black. If there was no room for inclusivity, I'm going to use your word. If there was no room for diversity, you wouldn't have a job. If there was no room for diversity in Pilates, you would not have a job. As much as you feel assimilated, you're Black. Honestly, I don't think that people who have that mindset should have a like how is it okay that she's a Pilates instructor? And what's crazy is without your platform, if you go into a all-white Pilates class in one of these high-end luxury Pilates studios and they don't typically see Black women, they're not going to look at you if they don't know your platform and they don't know like your social medias. You're just another brown face to them. And if they are prejudiced and they are not used to seeing Black people in their class, they're going to look you up and down just like they look me up and down. So it's so funny that we get so far removed from who we actually are that we get on the internet and say blatantly prejudiced things. I'm having a brain aneurysm. I gotta go.
It was literally created in a prison. It was created in a prison cell by a man who was a circus performer. He was also a boxer as well. That's who Pilates was created by. Joseph Pilates. Y'all want to get on here so bad and change what Pilates is, what it's supposed to be, who can do it, who cannot do it. No. The history where it started makes it to where you can't do that. Pilates was always supposed to be diverse. It was created in fucking prison. It was created in prison. I keep reiterating that because you guys keep thinking that Pilates is this high-end thing. It's really not. It's really not. It's not. Capitalism is the reason why you guys get to play in people's face when it comes to this conversation about Pilates. Pilates is not the creme de la creme of working out. It's not.
I think what's really troubling about this is that this woman she's openly justifying the price, or whatever she charges for Pilates. She's openly justifying that price for Pilates and justifying, making this comparison between Bottega, saying it's not supposed to be an inclusive space. It's not supposed to be an inclusive space. You don't walk into a Bottega and say, basically, where's all the people of color? That's what it sounds like you're saying, babe. What is it that you're trying to say exactly? Because if what you're saying is we can't make Pilates accessible to everyone because it wasn't meant to be accessible for everyone, then let's talk about where Pilates actually came from, which by now I'm sure you're probably aware, everyone in your comments is telling you. It was formed by a man in prison who was a circus performer and a boxer. Did you think it was like a legacy of white girls who took a trip to Bali and fucking brought back the ancient teachings of the people that came before them? Like, what are you talking about? And I think it just goes to show that people will come on the internet and they will say and do some of the stupidest to protect their bottom line. She's trying to justify this for the sake of, making a couple coins. Like, was it worth it? I don't know. And if anyone was ever confused on what the purpose of Pilates is, it's just calisthenic training. It's just to tone your body. So, look, I spent my entire high school career in Pilates because I just wanted to be able to tone my body and be able to make sure that I was keeping up with myself physically when I was in cheer and when I was in gymnastics, things like that. And as far as accessibility goes, a high schooler isn't going to be able to pay for $200 Pilates classes or whatever it is she thinks she's going to charge for it. You know where I learned it from? YouTube, Blogilates. And I'm sure some of you girlies know who I'm talking about because she was absolutely goated and she knew how to make it accessible for everyone. I did those workouts in my bedroom and I was sweating my little butt off. So please, if you're interested in taking care of your body and you're interested in taking up Pilates, I can assure you there are spaces where you can learn this and you do not have to listen to this girl spew some rhetoric about what she thinks Pilates is for. Don't listen to her because she's full of shit. I'm going to be very honest with you. There are places that you can go, there are resources that you can use, and it is for everyone.
And what I'm learning from a lot of these response videos is that Joseph Pilates, the first person that he certified for Pilates, was a person of color and a woman. Okay? She thinks it's designer when it was created in prison. Make that make sense. Do y'all remember a few months ago when that one girl was saying, if you weigh over X amount of pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class? I did a video on that. I'll put that up here.
You're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. You shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut.
So when that happened, Raven had some videos responding to that saying, it's not my business. Whoever wants to take a Pilates class, it's their business. They're welcome to take it.
I've been teaching Pilates for almost 10 years, and here's why someone else's weight would probably affect your workout. It won't. There's never been a time when an instructor or another client's weight has ever interfered with my workout. Why? Because I mind my business, okay? And if someone else's weight is affecting you, I want you to listen because this could be really helpful. You're a loser. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Some of you guys on TikTok like to think that being thin is a personality. Baby, it's not. Being skinny is not a personality trait because there's gonna come a time when you're not skinny anymore. I promise you. So I pray that before then, you develop some marbles, you develop a frontal lobe, all right? And hopefully a personality too. I'm always saying, oh, Pilates is for everyone. Pilates is for all bodies. Well, gonna show you. So exhibit A, Pilates is for him. Hello. And it's for her. And it's for him too. And her. And her. And her. So yeah, literally everybody.
So knowing that and knowing this video right here definitely gives performative. It definitely gives, in my opinion, Raven encourages that proximity to whiteness, because if you're doing that, are you catering to a wider audience? And I said whiter, not wider, but I guess that goes hand in hand. She wants more of a wider audience and more of an audience for her business. Which, one thing about that, don't promote yourself as wanting to have diverse clients, accessibility for women and women of color, and then do this. Okay, if you were wanting to encourage your certain clientele, then do that from the start. Not that I support that, okay? We love diversity over here. I'm just saying, if that's what you wanted to do, you should have kept that this whole time. But from what we see from Love is Blind and from this, I'm not sure if she respects other cultures and likes inclusivity and diversity. Another thing on Love is Blind season 3, we all knew that she loves Pilates because she was literally doing jumping jacks when that one guy was kind of pouring his heart out while in the pods. And it's like, really?
This is crazy that I felt comfortable enough saying that. Like, I would never have thought in a million years I would share that fucking story. I can't believe I just did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's not even bad, but I see that was hard for you, so
yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. We don't know Raven behind the camera, so it's just very interesting because it's like now there's a history of you being disrespectful to other people. You said what you said, and a lot of people are responding. We can see it for what it is. We heard what you said. And in my opinion, she's basically saying that if you're a person of color, you can't afford it. Like, what? So let's dive into her apology video. I really want to know what y'all think of this, and then we'll circle back to what everyone's saying about this apology video. Check this out.
I want to address what I said in my previous video. I start by saying classism, elitism, or anything adding to the larger conversation of like exclusion in wellness or fitness is unacceptable. Hindsight is always 2020, and I see how my words contributed to that narrative. And even though that wasn't my intention, I know that intention doesn't erase impact. But my mission has always been to share my passion for Pilates and wellness with as many people as possible, specifically women. Like, I care about women. And everyone else too. But I really care about supporting women. If I made you feel like Pilates wasn't for you, I have literally failed at my entire mission and let y'all down. Honestly, being a Black instructor in this space is what motivates me to consistently perfect my craft, to make the best possible product that I can, and to try to get the Pilates word out there with as little barriers as possible. However, creating accessibility is about more than content. It's also about culture, words, nuance, actions, and I missed the mark. This is definitely not a woe is me video. I have always been collaborative, open to feedback. I want to have a conversation. Like, I'm an Aries. I love to shoot the shit. I want to be better. I want to serve my community better. And really, I just want better for this wellness space in general. And from some of the discourse that I'm seeing on here about my video, I really think that this could be the start of a positive and needle-moving conversation that hopefully can forge a new standard. I really believe we as women, as people of color, can create something better than what has existed before. And that was really the heart of my message. I thank you for holding me accountable and giving me the chance to gather feedback and move forward and go even harder. Let me reintroduce myself. My name's Raven. I teach Pilates and I provide free and affordable studio quality workouts. And I create brand new workouts every single week and I put them on YouTube for free. I'm also the founder of a Pilates community of women who work out from home. And it's so fun. My workouts are approachable for many levels and welcoming for everyone. And everything is free or well under $50. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to all of the Black and brown instructors that I found through this discourse. So put yourself out there in the comments. Let us know who you are. Let us know where your classes are. Let us know how we can support you and create even more community. I would love to continue this conversation, especially with other instructors of color, to keep making a change. So please make yourself known, tag yourself, and I'll see everyone else on the mat.
So one thing that's hilarious in a way is everyone is saying that she kept looking at her ChatGPT notes when she was doing this video. And I also feel like the tone of this apology video was unserious. She's like, so guys, yeah, that video I made, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do an apology video, whether or not you're gonna be sincere, you know, at least have a sit down type talk. You don't have to sit down, but just don't, yeah, so, you know, I made a video the other day and blah, blah, blah. I also like how in her apology video, she took that opportunity to say, yeah, I have free classes on my YouTube channel. You could have said that in your first video. Your hot take on diversity. Yes, there's other people saying you could have worded it different, but why didn't you use that as a marketing tactic to say, this is a reason why I've created the workouts I have and they're available for free online. So in my opinion, she said what she said. And people are saying that her style, the way she teaches Pilates, is not necessarily top dollar or the most professional.
I have the worst stomachache ever, but back that ass up. Just kidding. Not kidding. Woo! Big daddy, it's burning. Oh my gosh. I'm shaking, y'all. Shaking like a stripper too. Y'all, my abs are already on fire. Ooh, don't crash land like me. Smooth down, baby.
Someone says this isn't giving Bottega. And then someone says it's giving bodega. This looks very low budget to me. Luxury and legacy, you said? Let's dive into this video. So there is another creator, Lee. She is based out in Philadelphia, and she had said that she offered for Raven to teach a Pilates class to build up her audience because Raven is newer to the Philadelphia area. She recently moved.
Hey, so I did just move to Philly, and I'm wondering, where are the Pilates girls at?
So this creator, Lee, she works for a nonprofit, or she has a nonprofit. Anyways, watch this video where she says she offered for Raven to teach a free class. Raven said no and was asking for money.
So yesterday I watched that video too, and when I first watched that video as a wellness studio owner and a cafe owner, I was pissed the F off for a lot of different reasons. And I'm gonna jump into the reasons why I'm so pissed off. Number one, the first reason I'm pissed off is because Pilates was started in a jail cell. In a jail cell. That's number one, okay? So for people wanting to tell you that Pilates is this luxury thing and it's this and it's that, that's bull. It ain't true. It ain't true. And then a black woman brought it over here to the United States and perfected it. Pilates is ours. Pilates is ours. So the fact that people are trying to rebrand it to this thing that excludes us is kind of crazy because it is us, okay? That's number one. Number two, I think what Raven is what she's really trying to do is justify her pricing as a way to put herself up. Because unfortunately, babe, I didn't think about this about you before, but I do think about you in this complex now. I think you're elitist and I think you're classes, and I think that you definitely showed yourself in that video. And if that's not who you are, then you probably need to clarify yourself, because you do not make Pilates affordable for diverse audiences. That is not your brand. That is not your mission. And I know that for a fact because I actually tried to hire you for a Pilates class that I had a few months back that went viral. We actually sought you out and tried to hire you to do a free community event because you were new to the city of Philadelphia, and I wanted to offer Pilates free for black women in our community. So I sought you out. And your price quote was $3,500 for one class, free for the community. Only 20 people. And you were trying to charge us $3,500 for a class. I don't know who you thought you were to even try to charge $3,500 for a class, but I thought it was bananas. And I even said, hey, we're a nonprofit. You sure it's $3,500? And your representative said, yeah. So your whole thing of oh, this is your mission, that is completely untrue. That's completely untrue. Completely, okay? But even going back to the grand sentiment about Pilates and it being this luxury thing and you should be paying a high price point, you should not. Pilates is also calisthenics, however you pronounce it, but basically it's movement with your full body. You're typically not using equipment with Pilates, mat Pilates in general. Solid core is really not Pilates, that's strength training with some elements of Pilates embedded. That's what a lot of people get confused. So a lot of people think solid core is Pilates, is not, okay? It has Pilates infused, but it's really strength training, okay? Pilates is typically calisthenics, where you're working independently with your own body. and a mat on the floor. What about that is luxury? Everything built around it, the auxiliary pieces should be luxury. Your instructor should be high quality, yes. The space that you're in should be high quality, right? Yes. The instruction should be high quality, yes. But none of that means that you are paying Bottega prices for a class. And you did try to charge Bottega prices for a class. You tried charging $3,500. My Bottega bags that I have at home, the few that I do have, none of them actually even amounted to $3,500 actually. I think the most expensive bag I have from Bottega is $2,700, and the most expensive piece of shoe I have from Bottega is $1,525, and they're the gold sandals. So you were trying to go well above Bottega, babe. And what you just said in that video was some bullshit. And I wouldn't even have spilled the beans on that until you just tried that bullshit in the city of Philadelphia. And that's another thing too. People don't be from here and they don't do a business plan. They have no business plan. Their business plan is TikTok. Their business plan is coming on here talking to y'all and hoping that sells something, hoping that does something. It's not a business plan. It's a part of a business plan, but that's not your business plan. People come to Philadelphia, they don't know the city, they don't know their market. You cannot come into the city of Philadelphia and start telling us as Black women or people from the city of Philadelphia that this is what things should be. Know your market. Do a market analysis of the city of Philadelphia. Understand the key players. Understand the market rate. Understand who's going to pay for what, who's not going to pay for what, and where you need to go, and how you need to market yourself, and how you need to network, and how you need to fit in where you get in. But I think all the alienation that you're doing online to your core demographic is not going to help you out, sis. It's really not going to help you out. And I don't think you understand your positionality. You also are a racially ambiguous Black woman. Again, you're in the city of Philadelphia where most of us look Black, act Black, talk Black, we walk Black. This is a Black city. So you got a little bit more grind and hustle that you need to do to make a footing here. Especially if you want to do with Black women from the city of Philadelphia. That's all I'm saying. And I think getting on the internet, alienating your key demographic, it ain't a good business model, sister to sister. And I actually liked you on Love is Blind, whatever show you was on. I think I seen you on like 2 or 3 episodes. I didn't know you did Pilates until I was planning that Pilates event, and what's her name? The fuck is her name? I don't know the girl name. Promoter was like, you should book this girl. She might be a great idea. Chill out, girl, chill out. Too cocky, too much junk in your trunk, okay?
Pilates by Raven. The girls are eating you up. Leave that reformer at home and step into my office. Firstly, if you were smart, there would be an apology on my desk by tonight. If you were really, really smart, you would come back saying that you have learned the history not only of Joseph Pilates, who was put in an internment camp and imprisoned because he was a German on British soil. What does that sound like, being in prison because you're a foreigner on land? Anyway, but you would also learn the history of Kathy Stanford Grant, who was the second a woman to be certified by Joseph Pilates himself, and she was a Black woman, and she was a dancer, because this is a really just physical therapy because it's calisthenics. Thirdly, if you were really, really, really smart, you would find Kathy's family, because even though she passed away in 2010, I'm certain she is survived by her loved ones. Fly them out to Philadelphia where you live, Black ass Philly. I don't know why you would say that in Black ass, Meek Mill ass, the Eagles ass Philly. You would fly them out to Philadelphia. You would have a free community event. Anyone who wants to join this class, have it in an event center. Yeah, you love revenue, find sponsors. Have a free event where people are able to practice mat Pilates for free with you. You would invite Kathy's family to show them her legacy. And if you were really, 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 really smart, Raven, for the rest of the year, I want $15 Pilates classes from you. And in fact, add an additional $5 off code luxury for single mothers, for students, for people in physical therapy who can't afford all of their sessions. You said it's not diverse. Okay, great. Let's make it accessible. Let's make it accessible. You know how to generate revenue, so let's make it accessible. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if you forgot, especially in a Black ass city like Philadelphia, you're not white. So you're not going to survive off of only having white people in your class, because there's not enough white people in general in Philadelphia. Girl, and no tea, no shade, you should have knew you wasn't white, because SK was cheating on you with real white women. He was cheating on you with Pepe's Pinterest board. Raven, I like you, girl. Don't piss me off.
Raven, now I see how SK was texting and flying out multiple because you're dumb as fuck. You really came on this to talk about how don't expect Pilates to be inclusive or accessible. Mind you, Pilates was created in prison, and it was used to rehabilitate disabled vets. That's how it started. And the first woman to do Pilates, past, Joseph Pilates, was black. Because we talking about, then your bird is gonna say, oh, well, do you walk into a bottega and ask about, is it accessible? Is it inclusive? A designer bag brand. And we're talking about exercise. We're talking about physical therapy. Because that's really what Pilates is, physical therapy. And you talking about, basically, we should hold it to the same regard as a designer bag brand. Really? Mind you, all them designer bag brands are grossly overpriced. I follow a leather creator on here. I believe he is either Italian or he's Spanish. He's from Spain. And he literally will buy a designer bag, and he would literally rip it apart and say, this is how much I got it for. Let's break it down and see the cost of leather, the quality of leather, all the things, and if it's worth it. Like 90% of that is grossly overpriced. Just like Pilates. This is grossly overpriced. I don't care about inclusivity when it comes to a bag. This is literally exercise. The same that y'all want fat people to do and y'all want them to get skinny. How the f they gonna do it? Everyone that's gone to Pilates is like, this is the best thing that has happened for me. Like, my muscles, and I feel stronger and whatever. Then, God forbid a fat person want to do Pilates. Then you guys start foaming at the fucking mouth. Who was that one skinny that was on here a couple months ago that was like, I saw a fat person at Pilates and fat people shouldn't be here if you're 200 pounds and whatever. This is what the fuck we talking about. But when fat people talk about it, y'all try to gaslight them. Mind you opening a studio in Philly, or I think you moved to Philly because aren't you dating some, some athlete or something like that? Come to find out, as I was looking on here, there's a Philly creator, I believe, who has her own studio that was trying to hold a free community event and reached out to your people saying, hey, people want to work with Raven. Like, can she give like a free class? You were trying to charge her $3,500 for a community event. You or your people, which I mean really is you because they're speaking for you. The white mama jumped out. I'm gonna just say that. And that's another thing. You think when they talk about inclusivity, they talking about your mixed race Miss One Drop Rule? Be so for real. Also, from a business standpoint, this isn't gonna help your business. What the hell are we talking about? My God, shutting the fuck up is free and you guys act like you can't afford it.
Joseph Pilates gave instructor certifications to 2 people in his lifetime, and they were both Black, Indigenous, people of color, women. Exactly. I do like that this whole situation is giving a light and other people flowers who are diverse, who are people of color, and who are women that have been in Pilates this entire time.
All right, so this is our response video to Pilates by Raven, who wants to exclude Pilates from, yes, we know we love women, but we love women from all different ethnicities and race, from all different places, but we all love Pilates.
Even though Raven has been teaching for 10 years, it's not like some new thing, that's top dollar, that only people in a certain tax bracket go to. Exercise should be included for everybody. Ooh, here we go. This is nice. Joseph Pilates also invented Pilates to accommodate disabled people with low or no impact movements to help physically disabled people, particularly to help soldiers who served in World War I. Pilates should be accessible for everyone, and especially for the communities it was designed to help. As a Black woman in Philly looking to get into doing Pilates, I definitely want to be in a space where I'm welcomed. And some people are making these hilarious skits where they're like showing up to a Pilates class and they see Raven allegedly and they'll be like, oh, am I not welcomed here?
Hello, I'm here. What are you doing here? I'm here for the Pilates class. Who the hell told you about Pilates? Who told you about Pilates? A friend. They said I should really get into it because...
See, this shit is a legacy, okay? There's no diversity in this bitch, so I don't know what the f*** you doing here.
I'm literally just trying to exercise. I heard this was a really great way to
relieve what? You don't walk into Bottega to relieve stress? Have you ever been to Bottega?
To Bottega? No, I haven't been to Bottega.
Exactly.
So I gotta go shopping before I come here?
You don't understand. It's not for everyone. Let me see your W-2s, please.
My W-2s? Am I tweaking right? What's going on? How did they get in? Did they have to go through the same Inquisition or...
No, because they're legacies. They belong here. They grew up here. Where did you grow up?
Who, me?
No, you.
What the f***? I was raised in New York.
Ooh, it might be accessible to you. Which part? Which part?
The Bronx.
Oh, no, not Tribeca. Not Soho. You can't come here. Nope. Sorry.
Okay, well, I didn't think that none of that stuff mattered if I'm coming here just for an exercise.
You look around and tell me what you see.
I see people doing Pilates.
In Bottega, you're wearing a Nike hoodie. This is not for you.
Excuse me?
And also, as I was doing research for this video, people were commenting on Raven's videos and they'll be like, oh, so you post this, but it's not for diverse people, right? Like, it's bad. White mom, black dad usually produces an interesting offspring. Just search Raven Pilates. You will get the picture. You said what you said. I'll stick to my free at-home Pilates with Move by Nicole. The internet is forever, a legacy you might say. Her name is Raven, but she's not seeing the future. Comparing health and wellness to luxury brands is a crazy take. Pilates is not a luxury. It is a form of exercise for wellness. Have you ever seen Bottega apologize? I'm an Aries. Okay, I'm a Gemini. Now what? Girl, it's the casually looking off camera at the ChatGPT notes for me. I think this is a lesson to 1, be intentional with who you are, what you comment, but also number 2, your true colors will come out one day or another. And also 3, if you really love what you do, whether it's what you do for a living, if you really love making something, you should market it in a way, if you're selling it, in a nice way. I know the first video is a trend that was on TikTok, but let me know your thoughts about this, because I feel like her videos do have this approach, and it may work for some people. They want someone to yell at them, tell them what to do. Personally, for me, I don't think that's a sustainable long-term approach for anything. You gotta have some mix there, but it does seem kind of condescending in my opinion. I think it's respectable for coaches, trainers, instructors to have an air of respectability, being stern and such, but I don't want that to come across to their students to be arrogant.
Do you really need that $200 a month Pilates studio membership, or do you need to get your ass on a mat at home and stop being lazy? Who said that?
Excuse me, stop scrolling. Did you have fiber today? Did you have fiber today? Summer is in 5 minutes.
Eat your fiber today. Summer's in 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like now that this has happened, we can look back at some of her videos and edited experience on Love is Blind and say, you know what? There were some questionable things on here. There were some questionable things that she's done. It's just sad though, because when I was looking at videos, she had a lot of people supporting her and saying that her workouts kicked their butts. I do think that people are unfollowing her.
I haven't seen anyone talking about this. This is how many followers Raven had on September 11. You know, with the whole drama of like comparing Pilates with Bottega, and you wouldn't expect diversity. So how many she has today? She has lost almost 30,000 followers. And she also deleted some videos. She deleted her apology, and she also deleted this video right here for whatever reason. Well, she was getting a lot of heat on this.
I just hope that she uses this as an opportunity to learn from it. I would delete that apology video. And as I am editing this video, I have noticed that Raven has turned all of her comments off. So that is interesting, and I also cannot find her apology video on her platform now. So yeah, and she's losing followers. She's losing a lot of followers on TikTok. It's just a lot going on, but honestly, she said what she said, so. And I would take the advice from the other creators who are saying market it in a different way. You could either say Pilates classes are a bit more expensive because it's accommodating the training, the area. A lot of Pilates instructors don't get paid as much, but also, although it is more expensive for the in-person classes, this is why I have free or cheaper options online where you can do my workouts. That's what I would recommend as someone who's not in public relations or anything. And honestly, I was rooting for Raven on Love is Blind, but whatever. Also, side note, are you gonna watch the new season of Love is Blind coming up in October, the US version? I just finished the 4 episodes of Love is Blind France. Normally, I don't like this kind of stuff, but I've gotten into the series and it gets messy, so. Anyways, let me know what you thought of this whole situation. Do you feel like Pilates is for everyone? Do you feel like a certain tax bracket goes to Pilates classes? Do you feel like Pilates is not diverse right now and that it should be? What do you think of Raven's response and apology? As always, like, share, subscribe. If you don't, I just appreciate you being here, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!